here we are on the start of the third lap, Manx Grand Prix 2016. This is on board with Andy Farrell, and in a minute he catches me and chases me down and follows me for a lap. So here we are at the top of Bray Hill, just getting your apex there at the traffic lights, and then heading down the hill, probably reaching 170 miles an hour, 180 on the big bike, some big compression at the bottom there, bit of a wobble, then a bit of a wheelie over Aggo's Leap there, and then heading towards Quarterbridge. So you get your braking nice and early, little blip over the crest there, and down the box all the way down to first gear. Very slow, tight corner. Full tank of fuel, just come out of the pits, so yeah, you just got to get around that. And run down to Braddon Bridge here. It's another tight corner. Oh, there I go past. Andy can follow me now. So, little S-bend. A load of people watching there on the left hand side. There's the church, and heading down towards Union Mills now. Coming up, I'm not sure what this corner's called, but it's flat out on the 600 and pretty much on the big bike too. Just takes you a little while to get it in practice, a few nights, and you've got it. Here's the run down to Union Mills. Back a couple of gears. Bit of a crest and bump there, got to get through that without too much bother, and here we go. You run up to Glenvine. Everything tucked in, head down, ass up. First kink here is flat out, and then through the dip to Ballagary, aka Ballascary. Fast corner, down a gear, blind entry, just chuck it in at the curb there. Really important to get good speed through there because you're flat out for a couple of miles now, all the way to Greeba Castle. So this is Crosby, DJ's corner. This is another flat out one. It takes a little while to get your mind up to speed to that one, so a few nights again in practice and you've got that nailed. This is coming out of Crosby Leap here. Stay over to the right hand side because it's less of a jump. Stamping on the back brake to make sure you don't flip the thing. Now run down to Greeba Castle. Down a couple of gears to the left hander here, and then down another gear through the dip, and then hug the curb and then watch the camber because it drops away on the exit. Hard on the power again, just brushing the wall on the left hand side, and again here, and then a bit of a double apex corner here, and down to Greeba Bridge. So it's another one you got to watch getting onto the power, and the exit drops away a little bit. And now we've got a couple of fast corners. The first one's flat, the second one's flat, but it's, it takes some doing. Bit of a ballsy corner, they call it Gorsley. It's not one of my favourites, you just got to get through it. That's quite important. All the fast corners on this course are important because that's where you're going to gain most of your time. Big tree on the right hand side there, that's my braking marker. Down for Ballacrane. Down 3 or 4 gears and up to Milky's Ballaspur. Watch the wall on the inside there. And then down to Ballig Bridge. Okay, down up to 5th gear and then down a gear for the corner. Early apex, and then don't drift out too wide. Try and hug the inside. That's a nice line from Andy there. And here we come into Laurel Bank. A tricky little corner. Just got to get through this and drive up to Laurel Bank 2. Get in nice and early over the curb. I was a bit wide. And then don't go too wide on the exit, get a good line through here to Black Dub. Got some yellow flags here, but just get through, knock off the speed a little bit. Bit of respect to the marshals, doing a great job. Now Glen Helen. So first one's flat, and then the second one's down a gear. There's Glen Helen in the commentary box here. That's where you get your first sectors from. Up the hill to Sarah's cottage. don't go in too hot because you don't want to ruin your drive up this hill. This hill, Craig Willie's hill, is quite tricky. It's a few corners, you've got to link them all and get a nice flow and carry all your speed up to the Cronkivody straight. And here's Cronkivody straight, so everything tucked in, head right down, knees in, elbows in, trying to get the bike to go as fast as possible. We've got a fast corner here at the end of the Cronkivody. It's nearly flat on the 600, probably is. Faster boys, this one's flat, and then back down the gear for this corner, and then hard on the power nice and early, all the way down to Hanleys. So you wouldn't want to get this one wrong. There's big walls either side and it's quite narrow. You breathe in and squeeze through, and away down to McGuinness's. So this is a fast left-hander. You don't really lift for, you just keep accelerating through it, and onto Bagaro. So it's 2 bits of Bagaro. There's top of Bagaro, down a gear, flick it in close to the hedge on the inside, and then a bit of a wheelie over the crest on the exit and down to the bottom. And there's a big compression. You're standing on the pegs, and there you go. Let the bike do most of the work and take the compression through your knees. And off to the 13th milestone. Get the late apex. There's your apex. And then down to this lovely corner. Late apex there. And then hard on the power down to Kurt Michael, Douglas Road corner. And you feel a real sense of speed coming through here. You got all the houses. Basically it's a 30-mile-an-hour speed limit through the village, and we're doing 170, 180 through here. It's absolutely crackers, but that's why we do it. It's really fun. So coming down, little wheelie over the crest, and looking for yellow white line, and yellow white line. Watch the exit there because that can creep up on you. Here we are at Rencullen, a little blip of the throttle, keep the front end up, settle the bike, and then on the exit we've got a bit of a crest there. You want to just give it a bit of positive throttle and just get over that. And this section here, I forget what it's called, but it's very fast. Lefts and rights, but they're all flat out. Takes you a little while to link it all together and get it all flowing nice. A few nights in practice you can get that. And coming up to Alpine now, it's down a gear, over the crest, and then flicker in and then back on the power nice and early, all the way down to Ballaugh. So the famous Ballaugh Bridge. Oh, you can't really gain much on Ballaugh Bridge, but you could lose everything. You know, you could break a chain or damage a wheel. So no heroics over here, just get over it, down to first gear or second, little blip, and away you go, hard on the power again. And the exit here, it's all accelerating down to this fast left-hander down the bottom. A little roll, there's a lamppost on the right hand side there, that tip-in point, and then a big crest and jump on the exit. Doesn't look like much on the video, but you're getting some serious airtime over there. 6th gear flat out. Down to Quarry Bends, Wildlife Park on the left hand side. These are very important corners to get right because there's a big straight after it. So down the gear on the entry, and just nice and flowing. And then driving hard here, really early, to get a good drive down Solby Straight. So same again, everything tucked in, elbows in, knees in, ass up, and just trying to get as much speed as possible. Just follow the line because it's like warp speed down here. On the big bike you're hitting nearly 200 miles an hour. Got a kink here which you don't lift for, it's absolutely flat. So yeah, nuts. So braking down here for Solby Bridge. Second gear corner, bit of a wheelie on the exit on one of my favourite corners here. Ginger Hall, late apex, and drive up the hill, and this is where it gets difficult for me. It's really bumpy. Ginger Hall to Ramsey, one of the hardest sections. Just the road surface is so bumpy, probably with all the trees and all the roots going under the road, but yeah, you're hanging on here. bikes jumping all over the place, and you're just trying to tame the beast all the way to Ramsey. So 6th gear, 160 mile an hour through these sections. Yeah, absolutely crackers. Yeah, it really shows how well your bike's set up down here. If your bike's not very good, if it's a bit stiff, you're going to feel it down here, so you'll be hanging on and losing a lot of time. So if you can get your bike set up well down here, you'll be laughing. So here we're coming up to Conker Fields. There's a big tree with a K on it, reminding you that's a big curb sticking out. And that's just here. Bit of a wheelie over that, get some nice pictures. Before I even raced the TT, I used to watch there. It's a really good spot on senior race day, get a few friends down. So here we are, the run into Ramsey. A few important corners here to get right. Get your line right to carry as much speed as possible through there. Here we are at Milntown. Over the bridge, jump, and then flick it in right. And coming down to Schoolhouse Corner. Down a couple of gears. Try and get right over the curb. And then you've got the bus stop there on the exit if you need it, if you need to go a little bit wider. Braking markers there on the crossroads. And into my hometown, Ramsey, Parliament Square. No heroics through here. Nice and steady, and then back on the power. Past the bus station, and this is Mayhill. Really bumpy. You're hanging on. Over all the bumps, bit of a crest there. You can pop a little wheelie. And up to Stella Maris. Nice sweeping right-hander. And then you're looking for your braking point into the hairpin. Just got to get around here. Feels so slow after doing 190 mile an hour or whatever you're doing down all the straights. So just get around that, and this is the run up to the mountain. And here we go into Waterworks. There's a back marker here, just got to navigate. And the run up the mountain now. Doesn't look like much, but it's a bit of a climb here, bit of a hill climb, quite steep. So it's really important to keep your corner speed up. And here's the run up to the gooseneck. Big white wall here that sticks out. Watch your shoulder on it. And here's the gooseneck, another great place to watch. And the drive, you usually have a pit board there on the left hand side. And the drive up the mountain now. This is all flat out. First kink definitely flat. The second one, you build up to it, but got to make sure you're on line. Going up to Joey's, down a gear, flick it in over the grass there, and drive on the exit. All the way up to Hanley's now. Tricky corner to get right. There's a few corners in one, so you sort of try and make it one sweeper. And I'm hard on the brakes for this one. Right hand. And now I'm thinking about Mountain Mile now, so these next couple of corners are quite important to get right. Especially this one. You run onto the Mountain Mile, so you're trying to carry as much speed as possible through there. And here's the Mountain Mile. So everything tucked in again. You're probably hitting 160, 170 on the 600, pushing 180, 190 on the big bike. So it's a bit of a time to rest. They call it a straight, but it's not really. There's a load of lefts and rights in there, and you just got to pick a line to get through it all. But it is a bit of a break. Nice and smooth. And that last kink there's just about flat out, and then down a few gears into the mountain box, I think it is. Back marker there just leaves a bit of drive, but it's okay. You see Snape Fell on the right hand side there. And there's another one that's very fast, just lift a little bit sometimes. It's basically flat out, I think. This is Black Hut and onto Veranda. This is 4 corners in one, so you start out wide, and each corner you bring it in, and the final one you're right on the apex. this guy and coming up to Bungalow Bridge. It's a nice corner, down a gear, maybe 2 is it? And then you run up to the bungalow. This is another sector to get your split times. Yeah, short circuit stuff. Under the bridge, sometimes a pit board there if you're lucky, and up to Halewood Rise. Oh, there's Tom Whedon getting past. He was actually battling with me in the race. I just pipped him in this one, in the junior, and then he pipped me in the senior. We had a great battle. That's Halewoods. And then that was the highest point on the track, and now the run down the mountain. So here we've got a bit of a triple corner again, trying to get one line out of the 3. And here we are, windy corner. Down a couple of gears, really wide, really open, you can really see what you're doing, so it's good fun up the mountain. We go down to 33rd, all flat out, and this left-hander here, down a gear, in early, let it drift out wide, catch another apex here, and then drive down to Keppelgate. It's one of my favourite corners as well. Flick it in, there's a bit of camber there, really smooth, and a wheelie on the exit. It's great. This is Kate's Cottage. Last corner there, and then the run down to Craig in the Bar. Bit of a crest there, pull a bit of a wheelie, and then hard on the brakes. Got a few brake markers there, which is handy. Down to 2nd or 3rd gear. Drive on the exit, and run down to Brandish. We've got a bit of a right hand kink here. Flat out, between the hedges, squeeze through, and this is Brandish. Back a gear. Really open. It used to be a lot tighter, but they've opened it all up now. Scratch round there, 140 odd miles an hour, all the way down to Hilbury. Another good corner. Down a gear or 2, bit of a compression, and then drive out on the exit. Gets the heart going on that one. Up Ramona. This is a very tricky corner to get right. So it's a load of corners and you just make one out of the lot. Braking for Signpost Corner. A load of people watch here at Martin Bullock's house. Very close to the end of the lap here. Now we're in Douglas. Run down to Governor's. Governor's house is on the left hand side here. Down a couple of gears. At this point you just take it very steady because it can be slippy and it's very bumpy and very tight and edgy, especially this bit. It's like a hairpin right. Governor's dip. Really tight and slippy. This road doesn't get used day-to-day traffic, so it's very green and slippery under the trees. Drive out, bit of a bump on the exit, and then down Glen Country Road. Past the grandstand, and yeah, that's a lap of the TT course. Thanks to Lotteries.com for all their support, and Andy Farrell for the video, and Lock 9 as well. Thanks guys.